You are not running a successful business if the culture is up to you to hold it and also to hold the standards. Because a good organization, your agents will hold the standards and the culture. And so I don't worry about us dropping the ball because literally, yes, it is scalable because each person knows what to do and they're the ones doing it more so than I am.
Welcome back to the Reside Platform Podcast. I'm your host today, Suneet Agrawal, and I'm super excited to welcome back our guest for her second appearance on the show, Shonna Ruble from the Shonna Key team with LPT Realty out of Montana. And Shonna just built an awesome reputation for leading with purpose and just having a strong production and a good environment on her team. Shonna, how is it going today?
It's great today. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been good. So we just hung out in Big Sky, Montana, right? That was my first
Yes.
time ever in your
Mhm.
state. So I'm glad that we were able to hang out.
Yes, and got to watch some awesome bull riding, and you're in the pretty part of the state also. Not all of Montana looks like that.
Yeah, that place was super nice. How often do you go up to Big Sky?
Not very often, just a few times a year. So now that Robert's up there though, I hope I get more
Yeah, now that
invites up
Robert's
there.
up there, I hope I get more invites too.
It's like I have a friend now in the Yellowstone Club, so like I expect him to invite me.
And the shout out to Robert Palmer, yeah, who's up there.
Yeah, Robert Palmer, if you're watching this, me and Sanique, we expect the invites.
So, we were hanging out that day at the mastermind and at the rodeo, and me and you are friends. People here who don't maybe not know that Shauna's awesome. And so if you ever meet her at an event, talk to her, right? She's a great person. And we were hanging out, chit-chatting like we always do. And we were talking about business, and something you said really impacted me and made me say, Shauna, I know you've been on the podcast, but let's get you back on, because you were talking about knowing the love language of your team, right? So I want to dive into that. But first, I kind of want to just talk about like the team that you built. So, you have a top team in your market and you have agents that have been with you for a while. What do you think is the reason that agents stay on your team for so long?
I think it all comes back to culture. I think we hear that so many times, and everyone's definition of culture looks a little bit different. But I believe in one bad apple destroys the whole batch. But I also believe in you have to earn the right to have those come to Jesus meetings with your people. Um, and I really think our secret sauce is I know my people, right? Like I know their goals, but I also have tough love conversations with them. I mean, I truly believe we hold the people we love accountable. So when I get a new agent, I always tell them, if I am not holding you accountable, I could care less about your business. And I feel like you're a waste of my time. If I come to you and say, are you going to work today? How many dollars have you made? Are you taking this serious? That means I see potential in you and I'm taking my time to call you out on your bullshit and the story you're creating on why you're not working today. And so we have this thing where I earn the right to have those tough conversations, and they actually get their feelings hurt when they don't have come to Jesus meetings with Shauna. Like they're like, "But do you care about me anymore?" I'm like, "Yes." So I think again, and it kind of goes back to how do you earn that right, right? Like we've talked about, I know their love language, but I think so many times as leaders, it's funny because I have a post I'm posting tomorrow on social media. Is I think so many times in leadership we just want to tell people what to do and we want to treat them like a number. And I was actually in Vegas at an event here recently, and a broker said, well, when an agent leaves, I don't care. I just replace them with another. And I thought, dude, do you know how much training that takes? How much time that takes to replace an agent on your team? Why not just pour into them a little bit and get to know them? And then you build them and they continue to grow with with your organization when you hit these different awesome milestones that you achieve.
What do you have any kind of like system that you have to regularly check in on your agents, like how they're doing? What's your like process?
Yes, yeah. So on Monday mornings, I get a what I call an agent report card, and it has like how many calls they made, it had how many open houses they've done, year to date, how many deals they have done, how many people that is in their database that has not been contacted in the last 30, 60, 90 days. And what it does is I go through there and it's so elementary, like kindergarten level. I put a smiley face, I put a like a frowny face, and then I put like a real frowny face, right? And if they get more than 3 on there, then they know they're gonna get a call from our office manager saying, "Shauna wants to meet with you this evening." So Mondays is my come to Jesus meetings, and they know if they get a call on a Monday that Shauna wants to see you, and I will wait until the office until 8:30 or 9 o'clock, but we're gonna have a conversation on your actions that you committed to doing and you failed to do, and then we're gonna make a decision if you're going like do we need to decide if it's best to part ways at that time? Or are you going to step up to the plate and commit back to like what that
And
commitment
that's what
was
we
you said
call
you
some
did?
hot sauce,
And
lady.
how do I do
Ooh,
that?
that's
Is,
spicy.
well, what we do is when day one, when they join Shauna Key team, I have an expectation conversation. I will put money behind you, but you have to be willing to put the time and effort. So we have a contract and they read out, I will do $150 a day. They initial it. I will host 2 open houses a week and they initial. I will work the people in my database and nobody will go over 90 days without contact and they initial that. So they have these things that they initial and I keep their file next to my desk. So Sanique, when they have not done that and they're like over here like I'm broke, then it's easy for me to give them the file and say, did you or did you not initial these things? Yes. Okay. Well, you made a commitment. Has that changed? Because also, I have your goal sheet in here of what you wanted to achieve. I'd never set their goals for them. It's their job to, set their own goals because success should look different for each one of us. But it is my job to hold them accountable. And I feel like as a leader, if I'm not holding them accountable or somebody in my organization is not, then that means that they're just a number to me. And I care about their family and it's my job to make sure they're
That's
putting food
so
on the table.
good. Today's Wednesday that we're filming this, right? Today's Wednesday. How many of these meetings did you have on Monday?
Yes. I really
Good.
don't have to have a lot of them, to be honest with you, because they kind of stay off of it. So this past Monday, I did not have, well, actually, no, Monday I
Yeah, you
did.
don't have
I'm
to.
not going to mention his name, but he made his calls and stuff. So I kind of set him down and you think like, I think we think everybody's like, yeah, but you probably get pushback. And I'm like, no, I don't get pushback because they made an agreement. They assigned it. I did not change the rules in the middle of it. And, they're like, "You're right. I failed. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll get on it." And then they'll go. But I'll be honest with you, like every one of them has a little come to Jesus meeting with Shauna about every 6 months. And I intentionally do that, even if they don't get 3 frowny faces. Because sometimes they just need that booster shot to remind them that they're capable of going out and doing it
That's
and hitting
awesome.
their numbers.
Good. That's so awesome. So let's get into the love language stuff. So, how do you
Yes.
understand the agent's love languages?
So, what we do is anytime someone joins our team and we update our sheet once a month, and it is on every single agent's desk, and it's each team member's love language and their disc. And the reason we do that is if I backtrack to why I know it's powerful, is when my daughter, who's now 22, when she was like 13, 14 years old, she would tell people, she's like, yeah, my mom's really close to my brother. We're not really that close. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I take you shopping. I buy you everything you want. Like, I come and give you a hug and kiss every night before you go to bed. I don't leave the house without saying I love you. Like, and I just could not figure it out to the point that I went to a counselor and was like, I am failing at being a mom and I can't figure this out. She's like, what's her love language? And I was like, I don't know. What do you mean? What's her love language? So she gave me a book and I went and read it. And it was very interesting because I took the love language test and mine was quality time and touch. Well, what do? I always make sure that I eat with my kids, even if it's dinner at 9 o'clock at night. And I took them in, even Maddie was 14, so yet she's 22. And I still don't go to bed without going in and giving her a good night kiss and saying, I love you. And, but hers was acts of service. My acts of service was a 3. Hers was like in the 40s. So it made me learn when she said, Mom, will you grab me a glass of water or will you make me a grilled cheese? And I thought I was wanting to raise a very independent, I thought I was wanting to raise like a very independent child. So I wasn't never willing to do that. But no, you're fully capable of making yourself a grilled cheese, or you're fully capable of getting yourself a glass of water. And what I was doing is I was just telling her she didn't mean that much to me. So once I changed that, now I just every day I'm like, "Hey, is there anything I can do for you today?" And she's like, "No, not really, but thanks for asking." And she even tells everybody, she's like, "My mom is by far my best friend." And I'm like, "Yes, I'm winning." And it did not take that long for me to see a shift once I started talking her love language. So then I thought, well, how would this work in a work environment, right? And so I have everyone's. For my agents who physical touch, like, listen, like there's levels to this. Like if you see their love language is physical touch, like that means touch them on their back or something, right? But in our team meetings or office meetings, I come up and I just put my hand on their back. I'm like, hey, is there anything I can do for you? You did a great job on that closing. I know that was difficult. So I just make sure like I touch their backs because I know which ones that is important to them. I have some that's quality time. So I'll be like, hey, let's just go to lunch together today. Or I'll just pull them into my office and I have a couch in my office and I'll just sit down like, hey, how's things going in your world? And it takes 10 or 15 minutes. But what I found is my agents don't leave me, right? Like I haven't had agents leave me in years. I've gotten rid of a lot of them, but they don't come to me and say, hey, this isn't a good fit because they know that I love them and I care for them. And I make sure that I serve with a purpose of knowing I can speak their love language to show them that I appreciate them. Because let's face it, there's so many brokerages that our agents could have chose to go work at. They chose to go and work with us. And I think that we've got to realize that and pour into them and make them realize
Dude,
that
that's
they
so
weren't just a
good.
number.
Shauna, so friggin' good. I love that. I'm so glad I had you on the show right now to talk about it. Um, how do you figure like, do you have them take, like, the love language quiz, like, when they join or what?
Yeah, they like when they very first start, they have to take the DISC assessment and they have to take the love language quiz. And what we do is I get it, everybody in the office, because about every 6 months we'll go over the love language. So that way when a team member, what I say, and the reason I tell them we do it is I'm like, hey, there's gonna be times that an agent goes and shows for you or covers because your child is sick and we have everyone's love language so you'll know how to show them that you really appreciate them taking time out of their day to help you. And some is physical touch. If so, pat them on the back. Some is quality time. So I'd recommend y'all grab lunch together. Some is gifts. So you bring them a gift card. Words of affirmation. Some is just, hey, like, thank you so much. You're awesome. I really appreciate it. So there's 5 love languages. We train our team members and each agent in our office and all of our leadership team on how to, implement that in their day to day with the team members. And like I said, every single person in our office has it on their phone and has it on their desk. And it's fun because they'll sometimes like, hey, has this been updated? Such and such showed a house for me this weekend. I don't see the new agent on there. Can I know what their love language is so I can make sure I um, thank them accordingly? For so it works. It works good for our office.
I think that's so great.
So
Um, but so since you've built this culture, right? Like this family caring culture, have you ever found it hard, like balancing like the performance expectations while also genuinely like supporting the people?
so that's a great question, and I think I'm a firm believer you cannot scale a family
You
oriented
can't.
office, right? Like it's just not possible. If we're going to be honest about it, like everybody's like, "Oh, I love my little small knit family." That's great. I love money. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like my goal is to scale more people I have in my office, more listings, more opportunities. My agents get to make more money. I'm being selfish by wanting to keep it small. So when you look at it at how we do leadership like that, you probably think, "Oh, that's not scalable." But it actually is scalable because it is not all on my plate to love on them. What it is they love on each other. And by us teaching it in the team meeting and everyone having that, at their desk, they're the ones that holds the culture. I tell people, you are not running a successful business if the culture is up to you to hold it and also to hold the standards. Because a good organization, your agents will hold the standards and the culture. And so I don't worry about us dropping the ball because literally, yes, it is scalable because each person knows what to do and they're the ones doing it more so than I am.
That's awesome. How do you gauge the team morale besides just production numbers?
So I think for this sounds very because we are the number one team in Montana, right? And so we have been for the last 5 years in units and in volume. And
Oh, just both?
yeah, it's just both. So and it was so one of the funniest things, and it's one of the things I love the most, Sonique, is when we get new agents, everybody is unfortunately they're intimidated by me. They're like, even the way you walk is scary. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I am the biggest goofball you've ever met.
I wouldn't say the biggest goofball, but you're pretty chill, right? I
Like, yeah, like I'm like, oh, um, but what I found is everybody comes in with the expectation thinking like that we're super put together and like super organized and like no, everybody's like, come in, put your head down and work. And we do. But also at the same time, I feel for me, I love a fun culture. So what I love is on Saturday and Sundays, my agents send a message in Slack or a group text like, hey, is anybody going to be in the office today? I was just out running errands and just was going to swing by. So how I find that it works for us is we have a lot of laughter. I tell people on day one, if you cannot roll with the punches, meaning if you make a mistake and you're going to get super embarrassed about it if we laugh and talk about it, and if you can't give it back and take it, we are not the organization for you. Because I promise you, if you jack up on something on one of your deals or mess up with one of your clients, we're all going to know. We're going to laugh at you, and we expect for you to give it back. So, and I probably get it back more than anyone else. Like they are hard, but that's how I know our morale and who we are is true and authentic. Like just true who we are to ourselves is we're playful, we're fun, I'll just give you an example of yesterday. I don't make decisions in my team. I feel like we're one brand, so we succeed together and we fail together. And yesterday we had a new agent and he said, we got an open house lead. And he was like, but the people can't buy it, but the parents are going to buy it now. So is that a team lead or is that going to be a sphere lead, which commissions are a little bit different? And I said, I can make that decision, but I'm going to let the team make that decision. And the team voted that, yes, that's a team lead. And what I loved about it, I even said, like, you do understand if you vote team lead, that's more money taken out of your all's pocket later because this will become an SOP. And they're like, yeah, but it's the spirit of the team. Like we wouldn't get that tag.
Holy shit, what?
Yeah. So we talk about the spirit of the team, right? Like, yes, these people's names not going to be on the deed, but he would not have gotten that commission check to deposit in his checking account if it was not for the actions of Shauna Key team. So it falls back on, yes, that's a team lead and it's going to be a team split because no matter who's going on the deed, it's still, he got that because of our efforts. And so I was super proud of them because they could have easily been like greedy and been like, no, but it was the spirit of the team that's a team lead. And we even, I know we can't talk commissions, but we were saying like, should we adjust it to be like how the market was? And it was going to allow our agents to have higher commission splits. And they were like, no, you teach us to treat people how we would want to be treated. And we would not want another agent treating us that way, giving us less, them taking more. So we're going to vote as a team that we're going to be fair to everyone across the board. So like I keep doing these little things where I give them a vote and they always just show up with class and integrity. And that's how I know we have a successful business and it's going to keep growing. And the ones that don't think like that, we just kick out. You're going to be great just somewhere else.
Yeah, right. What's the communication cadence over in the Shawnee team?
Are you asking, like, how do we communicate with each other?
I mean, wait, are you guys like just all hanging out at the office and you're saying, "Hey, what do you guys think about this?"
I do not. My agents are in the office every day. And so I don't have any that work from home. Also, if they are going to work from home, we have a Zoom. So, like all of our VAs and virtual employees that we have are on a Zoom and bullpen and also the front of the office. So you can just go up and talk to them at any time. If an agent is not going to be at the office that day, they'll be like, hey, give me the Zoom link. And so they will Zoom in and do their work from home. So that way they can still see the bullpen and hear everyone talking, but we also communicate through Slack. And then we have like a group text. We have one for our iPhone people and then one for our non iPhone people. Um, and then we just send crazy memes or, hey, I've got this going on, or what would you guys do in this situation? So we actually are really, we communicate a lot. We also have a channel in Slack called the Knowledge Base. For our newer agents, they're like, hey, I ran into this situation. That way, if I'm busy or my son is busy, who's the broker, then the agents will jump in and say, hey, this is how we would handle that. So then they've got everybody trying to help them navigate whatever they're facing at that moment.
Really, really good. You have a receptionist in your office?
We do, yes.
Is their job only to be the receptionist?
They're listing manager, they get our packets ready, they get everything set up, they update our boards. Because one thing I hate, and you've been around offices, I hate the offices when you got this guy who walks around like puffing his chest, like he knows it all, and he's only sold 2 homes all year, but like he wants to act like he's king of the hill to the new agents. So on our boards, we have pendings and we have solds and we have total GCI. So we're open book. They know who's making money in that office and not, and who has any deals coming up. And so it's her job to update that. Um, she does a lot of stuff for us. So it helps with the listings. And she also, when I'm traveling, because I do travel a lot, she's the one that sits down and goes over the agent's numbers. And so that way they know how many calls they have to make, get an appointment, how many appointments to get a deal. And so she goes over their numbers and tracking with them.
Cool, good stuff. You guys have like online leads at your place or no?
No, so we're all organic. We do not buy any leads.
How do you do that? Who are they calling?
My agents pick up the phone.
Are they calling the fucking phone book or their friends?
Anytime we get a new listing, we call people and we'll say, hey, we just got a new listing in your neighborhood. We also door knock those neighborhoods every Thursday. We also preview other inventory in our market. We do mail outs, letting people know we just took that listing. And then we do client appreciation events, a minimum of 4 times a year. And we just get a lot of repeat business and a lot of referrals. And we paint, I tell, like, so we both have the same coach, John Chetflat. We just get enough listings that people just have to choke on our name
Choke on her name. I wonder where you got that from.
all around town.
No, that's mine. John's been
John,
using it.
he's like, make them.
Yeah. Choke on my
Is that
face, right?
yours?
Choke on my face. Yeah.
John
Yeah.
stole it. I'm like, you're
Yes.
going to choke on
John
my
took that
face
same
all
from
over
me.
this town.
Yes.
Okay. Well, my friend Sanique taught me that. No. So we put out 40 open house signs. With each open house, we have about 8 open houses on Saturday and Sundays. So we just kind of do old school real estate. I'm not saying I won't never buy leads, but right now at this point,
Well, you ain't bought him yet, so why fucking start?
yeah, we run a very lean, very, very extremely lean, profitable business.
Okay, so lean. So how much staff do you have then?
So right now I have 8 VAs, and then I have a mail out coordinator because we do a lot of mail outs, and an office manager. My son's the broker of LPT, so he's on their salary. And then we also have a recruiter on board our trainer.
Okay. And then you have the receptionist.
Yeah, which the office manager is the receptionist. Yes. And she carries the phones 7 days a week.
Okay. Yeah. So you are lean. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very lean. Yeah, like yeah, I mean, more money I save, more money I can put back into the business and with like fun events. So yeah,
Totally. Oh, dude, I'm just curious, right? I'm just curious.
yeah, we're very profitable business. model.
So you built this deeply relational team culture. Was that intentional or did something just evolve?
Right. But it's the key is I'm not the relationship part of it. The agents are the relationship part of it. But yes.
So was that on purpose or did it just kind of evolve because of life and time?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I think what happened was when I started real estate, I was young. I was like 23 and I had no clue that real estate was commission based.
Aren't you 23 right now?
I wish. That would be great. No, but, like, when you're 23, you don't know, and I didn't know what I did not know. Literally, I was like, "When do I get a paycheck?" They're like, "You're commission based." I said, "I know. Everybody keeps telling me that, so what does that mean?" They're like, "You gotta sell something to get paid." I said, "Whoa." I maybe should have looked up that word. If we had Google back then, I would have, but we didn't have Google.
Is that true?
So true. Yes. Yeah. And first time I wrote a contract, I was so nervous. I forgot how to spell the word and the word of. And I went to the bathroom and threw up. And I told my broker, I was like, I don't think this is for me. And she's like, toughen up, buttercup, get back in there. I was like, all right. Yeah. Let's go.
You went and threw up.
Yes. Well, who forgets how to spell of? I mean, it's two words, O-F. And who forgets how to spell and, A-N?
That's super funny.
There. But anyway, so yeah, I forgot how to spell two simple words. Um, but what I found, Sneak, was I did not know what I was supposed to do. And somebody told me if you cannot get 2 listings a month, you do not belong in my industry. And so I was like, okay, my job is 2 listings a month. Well, when you're chasing listings, a year later, actually less than a year later, I was ranked 35th in the nation for top listing agent. And so when I did that, what I found was agents who'd been there for a while, jealousy started happening, right? And stories was getting made up and they critiqued the way I did things. And then when I got like a bigger listing, you got to think this was like 2003 for like 1.5 million, they tried to take it away from me because they're like, oh, you don't have enough experience. So I left that brokerage and I will be honest, that was the best broker I could have ever had. She was just a phenomenal broker. She believed in tough love. And I mimicked her broker style to get to this day. But I went to another brokerage and I remember the broker's wife coming up to me and she was like, because I ended up specializing more in land. And she was like, land is for guys to sell, not girls. And girls should not wear jeans into the office. You should wear slacks and leave the jeans up to the guys. And I was like, F you. And so I was like, I'm going to go out and do my own thing. You were supposed to have $275,000 on the franchise thing. I only had like $20,000 in my name. I was 25 years old, went and bought my first franchise, had no clue what I was doing. But one thing that I knew was one bad apple destroyed the whole batch. And I was not going to have an organization where an agent could come to me and complain about another agent. So I have a rule, you're more than welcome to come to me and complain about another agent, but that agent will be present anytime you talk about them. And so it's funny when you have like both of them, the stories change. And that's a non negotiable in my world. Like, if you want to come and talk about somebody, that's fine, but they will be here as well. And then it just kind of evolved just from my bad experiences that I had at previous brokerages. And I realized I just did not want that type of organization. And I also, real estate's super hard out there. And I don't think the public knows what we do behind the scenes or how we deal with other agents and their egos. And I tell people, like, when I started, I went to the pawn shop more times than I can count just to pay my MLS dues. So like I know the struggles my agents have. And so I wanted an environment that they could come into and just be themselves and focus on selling real estate and have people that truly wanted to see them succeed and kick the drama out. And it just kind of evolved around that.
That's so awesome. What's your vision for the Shauna Key team in the future, and how are you gonna scale without losing the personal touch that you have?
Well, when I travel, like I'm only in my office maybe a week, a month now. So like, and they're holding the culture and everything great. And they've done that.
So it's deeply ingrained without you having to manage it.
Oh yeah. My mom, when she became terminally ill, I walked out of my office and said, hey, if I have an office soon back to great. I stepped foot in my office one time in 6 months. When I came back, we then became number ones in the state. So like that's already built in how we act, how we treat people, and how we invest in the newer agents as they come along. The vision used to be I wanted to be in all 50 states. And that was also one of the reasons I joined LPT was now it would allowed me to scale at a higher faster rate going across state lines. But I'll be honest, like we all know people that's done that, and like I don't know if they're happy in life. So I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Geographic expansion is really interesting, and I think there's other opportunities to get growth. Like, rather geographic expansion, how about you start a mortgage company too, right?
Yeah. And that's one thing like we're working on. Like I just took the LO class. I don't want to take the test, but I took the LO class. I think insurance is a great way. I think also, I think and you're at this level also. Let's just be honest. I mean, people don't like to talk about, but we've made enough money. We don't get up and deal with the shit we deal with because of the money at this level, right? We get up because there's something that fulfills us when we see other people hitting their goals, right? Like we're constantly pouring into others. So I think the new thing that I'm more excited about is not having to take on the responsibility of taking a shot at key team across state lines, but bringing people along and building an organization with people that I can help structure their business, but I'm not responsible for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, good.
The downline parts of things is like I love that part of it. I love the teaching part of it and pouring into others. But yeah, it's funny. I don't know what the goals are for us, but we're just enjoying where we're at and the growth we're having, and don't have any plans to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, and I think, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we're doing what we're doing, right? Because in many cases, yeah, like, don't necessarily need to work anymore, right? I mean, but I will because it's my favorite hobby, right? It's like, what else am I gonna fucking do?
Well, that's another thing. I don't think people, when we started out young, like we're making these calls and you're doing all this stuff, but when you get to our level, I mean, we both were on stage in Big Sky. It's just a different level of fulfillment at this point. And let's just be honest, we would not do well retire. I mean, I don't I don't know what I would do if I did not have to work every day.
I just started another company 3 weeks ago, KFR Domination with John. Like, I got another full-time job, like, in the last month. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. Shauna, I think this was awesome. If people wanna learn more about you and everything you got going, where should they go?
Yeah, they can. I tell people the best way would be just find me on Facebook. I know that's probably like not the correct answer.
No, that's the right answer.
Just find me on Facebook, shoot me yeah, shoot me a DM. I love to connect with people. I love like just answering people's questions. I've been through the trenches. I still do transactions with my agents, just so that way they can't be like, you don't know what it's like out there. So I like to checkmate them and be like, oh, I just closed, 10 this month. So I would love to help, answer any questions or help someone and answer any questions I can.
Yes, you guys. So hit up Shauna. She's doing great things. Send her all your referrals for billings because that's where I send mine. So if you want to be like Sinead, I don't know. She's the best out there, number one in the state. Or listen to her first episode from about 2 years ago. Make sure to check it out. It's linked in the description. Shauna, thank you again for coming on for the second time. It was an honor. It was so much fun. I
Thanks,
learned a
Sydney, for
lot of cool
having
stuff
me.
about you and your business, which I didn't know about. And for everyone watching and listening, thank you so much for tuning in to the Reside Platform podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.